Good evening. Today we will discuss how and why people end up on the streets, and I'm going to be specific to rough sleeper, homeless, not just the broad spectrum of homelessness. As I've discussed before, there are degrees to homelessness, but we are going to focus on the rough sleeper side of it. Um, Now, I've lived this for a long time, and no doubt, as always in the comments, there will be just go to the council, they've got to house you. Anything you could suggest, I've done. Okay, I'm not an idiot. Okay, and the ideas that you have in your head as to how there's all this wonderful help at hand, there isn't. If there was, there wouldn't be people on the streets. Okay, so just clear that up first. Okay. And also, as well, which I think a lot of people don't quite grasp, is go down the council offices. Well, since COVID, majority of councils no longer have offices. Their staff work remotely. Some places have what's called a gateway, but generally there are no local authority offices you can present yourself to. Okay, so to clear that up. So how and why do people end up on the streets? Very good question. Well, the why and the how comes down to, it's circumstances in your life. Simple as that. I can't talk for everyone, but something will happen in your life and you haven't got a support network and you end up there. That's what it boils down to, is your support network. And believe me, when you are at your very lowest, that is when you will find out who your friends are. Okay, so don't ever fool yourself that it couldn't happen to you, because it can. And I would say at least 90% of the people in this country are probably only one paycheck away from being homeless. Not necessarily ending up on the streets, but from being homeless. So, how do they end up on the streets? Well, so these circumstances have happened, you have nowhere to go. You will ring your local authority, you will tell them that you're homeless. Not a great deal will happen, but your name will be put down as a homeless person. And that will pretty much be it. There's what options do you have? You haven't got friends or family you could stay with. You haven't got any money. You're on the streets. It's as simple as that. There isn't the housing stock for councils to just come along and say, here, have a flat. Okay. Now, we'll clear this up as well. A lot of that, yes, is because of immigration. Now, there's some ideas and concepts that I would like the people that want to blame it on the people that come over here in a dinghy. I'd like you to try and grasp these concepts, okay? If you lived in a country where, there was war, there was no healthcare, no education, nothing, you struggled to eat, yeah? If you were told you could make a very treacherous journey and you could get somewhere, and when you get there, you'll be given a home, you'll have access to healthcare, education, you'll be given money every month. If that was you, you're telling me you wouldn't come here, okay? Anyone would. You can't blame it on the people, okay? They are coming here for a better life because they know when they get here, they'll be given a better life. That is not their fault, okay? That is the fault of the councils and the governments. And we're going to go into that, but that's where you need to direct your hate and your racism, okay? Not at the people. Because what you don't understand is when these refugees get housed in a military barracks or whatever, yeah, and you're all outside protesting, setting fire to stuff, you've now reinforced that they need priority because you have put them in danger. You have put them in danger. That your actions have prioritized them. Your actions are what are stopping genuine English people getting housed, okay? Because they are not as vulnerable as the people that you have now abused and terrified, okay? Try and grasp that concept. Direct your hate, your anger towards the people that can actually make a difference, not the people that have come here for a better life because they know they'll be given it. Anyway, so that is quite a good reason as to why there are people on the streets, unfortunately, though, because, like I say, refugees will be prioritised because of the actions of these ignorant idiots. Okay. The next issue is you'll be approached when you're on the streets. You'll be approached by I've done videos on this, so just look it up. So I can't go through it all. You'll be approached by a housing charity. And I use that term so loosely. Their sole mission is to profit. Okay. They will come along and they will offer you housing. You'll be in a shared house and it will be classed as supported living. Because you're on the streets, obviously that means that you have no clue about life. You know, the being on the streets defines you. Prior to that, you'd never used the toilet in their eyes, you know, so you need to be supported. You need to be shown how to use a bathroom, how to make a sandwich. You know, you can't be on your own. You're too vulnerable. Creates a massive issue because they charge a huge amount of money for this alleged support, and you have to be on benefits to get it. No one try and tell me otherwise, okay, because I've been through this system. Okay, so if you're a relatively able person, so you'd think, great, I've got security, I've got a home, right, let's get a job, let's get my life back together. The moment you get a job, you're not eligible for benefits, you get kicked out because they can't get 1,600 to £2,000 a month for you now because you've got a job. So your options are you can pay that money to stay there or get out and go back to the streets and start the process all again. These are the reasons why there are people on the streets, okay? And it gets to a point when you just give up. And I've seen this happen to so many people because you're never going to get anywhere. You can either be treated like a baby for the rest of your life, or you can try and make it on your own. And sadly, some people can't do that. It takes an incredible amount of determination and luck to make it on your own. It really does. And I have been so fortunate throughout my journey that people have stood by me and people have helped me. But you know, it's been the hardest thing I've ever encountered and I've ever done. And it has changed me massively as a person. And the scars that it has created will never heal. And I feel for everyone that's out there on the streets, no matter what their background. No one deserves to be subjected to things that I have been subjected to and what others have been subjected to. So these are the reasons why people are on the streets. Okay. I've got some news coming up. I'm going to put it all together for you. I've been keeping this close to myself because I don't want anyone to mess it up for me. But I've got some news and it's, wow, that's all I can say. Anyway, big love guys, and we'll chat soon.